The Buffy the Vampire Slayer comic series is setting the stage for an unexpected romance between Xander and Spike. The Vampire Slayer takes place in another universe from the original TV show, in which Xander is bisexual. The unsuspecting boy is being manipulated by Spike, who is still an evil vampire in this reality, to get close to the Slayer, but an actual romance could blossom between the two. The Vampire Slayer is an interesting new take on the Buffy story, set in one of the many parallel worlds of the Slayerverse, Buffy's own multiverse. In the Vampire Slayer universe, Buffy has lost her memories of being a Slayer, along with her abilities, after her friends tried to relieve her from the emotional trauma that comes with her dangerous calling, with a spell that went really wrong. Willow has become the Slayer, and while the Scooby Gang looks for a way to fix things, she has to take on Buffy's duties, but without a Slayer's predestination, the job takes a huge toll on her, and Willow starts being corrupted by her magic. Meanwhile, Spike arrives in Sunnydale, and he plans to use Xander to kill the Slayer. In the Vampire Slayer number 3, Xander is saved by the attack of a monster that feeds on insecurity by an unusually friendly blonde vampire. As soon as Spike hears about Xander's friendship with Buffy, he pretends to be a good vampire and an old friend of the girl. In order to gain Xander's trust and gather information on the Slayer, including her weaknesses, Spike offers to train the young man so that he can be less of a burden on his friends. In the Vampire Slayer number 6, by Sarah Guiley, Sonia Liao, and Valentina Pinto, Xander has developed a close friendship with Spike, to the point that he even defends the vampire from Faith, who is acting as Willow's mentor, and wants to put him back in the ground. What's even more interesting, however, is that perhaps Spike has grown attached to Xander too. A new bromance or something more. In the Buffy the Vampire Slayer TV show, Spike and Xander had an interesting and funny dynamic, especially during the time in which the two were forced to cohabit in Xander's home. This new story in the comics puts a fresh spin on it. Obviously, Spike is preying on Xander's insecurity to get access to Buffy and, after he learns that the current Slayer is the weak Willow, to literally kill two birds with one stone. However, the fact that Xander is now openly depicted as queer in the Slayerverse hints that an actual romance could blossom between the two men. The two have grown sincerely close, and Xander is now protective of Spike. There is also a long sequence of the two wrestling on the ground, and Spike tells Xander he should wear leather pants. Finally, Xander currently has an abusive boyfriend, and Spike is suggesting to break up with him. Only time will tell if Spike's interest in Xander is genuine, or if the vampire is simply using the boy and his insecurities to get what he wants. Surely, an eventual romance between the two would mean that fans will have to abandon their hopes to see the popular love story between Buffy and Spike return in this new universe too.